at all of you. What an amazing crowd. You guys look fabulous. You look absolutely fabulous. Let me say, there is nothing like spending a quiet Sunday morning with 800 to 1,000 of your closest personal friends. You know, it's been a pretty good first week, hasn't it? You know, my friends, it's getting clearer and clearer what this election is all about. And it's pretty darn simple. This election is about you. It's about millions of Albertans just like you. It's about your future. And it's about who is fit to be your premier. It's about who do you trust to be your premier. You know, my friends, the choice ahead is the starkest Albertans have faced in decades. And it is the most important for you and your family. And here's the thing, Albertans know it. We have put thousands of clicks on our vans already, out there hearing from Albertans. You know, in Lethbridge, we met a wonderful young family whose kids live with autism. And they came up to us and they said, they know we're fighting for them and that they're with us all the way. In Calgary, at a small business, two women came up to us and to me, and they said, you know what, they're proud members of Alberta's growing high-tech workforce, and they were also proud new volunteers on our campaign. In Red Deer, people said over and over how important it is to have a government like ours that will invest in their health care. And just a couple days ago here in Edmonton, we had hundreds of people out on a Friday night in a parking lot at the great constituency of Edmonton Meadows. I gotta tell you folks, that campaign is rocking. There, folks, everywhere, people are looking at the choice in this election. And when people look at Mr. Kenney and the UCP, people are seeing nothing new, and definitely nothing for them. And in fact, you know, it's been a bit of an interesting week for Mr. Kenney and the UCP, hasn't it? I mean, it started with us learning how Mr. Kenney cheated his own party members to win the UCP leadership. A scandal that's now being investigated by the RCMP. You know, standard fare for an election. That's just how the week started. It's been pretty much downhill from there. You know, the next day we heard a star candidate of theirs wax on about how sorry she was about the, quote, demographic replacement of white people in their homeland. Pardon me? We then heard them say believing in climate change isn't actually a necessary prerequisite to being a UCP candidate. Alrighty then. And then, of course, because they just can't seem to help themselves, we heard more about the place of women in the home and the clear advantages of being a male. Yikes. Now, in all fairness, in responding to this, Mr. Kenney did say, listen, he wasn't aiming for perfection with his candidates. Well, Mr. Kenney, mission accomplished. The TV show Survivor over at UCP Court. Except no one really knows just how low you gotta go before you get kicked off the island. And the cash prize, well, all the cash we all know goes to big, profitable corporations. Now, friends, across Alberta, people see their plan for exactly what it is. Mr. Kenney's plan for the economy: hand out the biggest corporate tax cut in Canadian history. His plan for diversification: ignore it. His plan for healthcare: privatize it. His plan for climate change: deny it. His plan for education: cut it. His plan for new infrastructure: toll it. His plan for our democracy: sell it, break it, and then lie about it. His plan for the minimum wage: lower it. His relationship to the truth: shred it. And his plan for the future: run from it as fast as he can. Now, my friends, you know what? When we took office 4 short years ago, the Sky Palace stood as a testament to politicians putting themselves ahead of you. There were cabinet ministers who were also under investigation, and scandal after scandal. Some things never change, do they? Now today, the Conservatives, UCP, they're not even in office, and they're under investigation. And do they want back into power? Here's Jason Kenney's argument in a nutshell. His team made a terrible mess. We didn't clean it up fast enough, so fire us and put the old boys back in. That's his case. But here's the thing. Jason Kenney and his team want to take us back to the same old ideas that may have worked for a time, but quite frankly also got Alberta into a whole lot of trouble. They want to give big corporations a giant tax cut, one that will blow a reckless $4.5 billion hole into our budget. And at the same time, they want to do nothing to diversify the economy. They've shown they have the same old approach to government, putting politics above people and truth in the trash bin. They will yell and scream about pipelines without actually making any progress on them, leaving our resources landlocked and our future captive to the Americans. Now here, my friends, here's our case. We inherited an economy that was deeply damaged. But we made a choice. We chose to have people's back through the recession, protecting jobs and putting people to work. Started to make progress on that promise we made in the last election to diversify the economy and get true value for the resources that we all own. We have already attracted billions of private sector dollars to upgrade our energy products and create jobs right here in Alberta. Sky palaces for ourselves. We built schools for our kids. And after years of party failure, we are closer than ever to building a pipeline. Our economy is growing. We cut the small business tax, we maintained Alberta's $11 billion tax advantage over every other province, and we will balance the books by 2023 without making reckless cuts to the things that you and your families rely on. No, exactly not. Are we content? No. Too many people don't feel the recovery yet. Too many people are still looking for long-term mortgage-paying jobs that will keep them and their families secure. We know that. We think about them the first thing when we wake up in the morning and the last thing when we go to bed at night. We know that that is our job, and that is why in this election we're going to keep doing the work, and we are offering Albertans a clear plan that puts everyday people first, making sure that Alberta works for everyone, not just those at the top. Good jobs in a more diversified economy. We will get pipelines built. We will defend and grow the schools and the hospitals that you and your family rely on, and we will keep government working for you. Instead of Mr. Kenny's reckless tax giveaway to big, profitable corporations, we are going to supercharge economic diversification here in Alberta. Our plan is the largest investment in Alberta since the days of Premier Lougheed, with more refining, more upgrading, and more manufacturing. And over the coming years, it will create 7